See, created alone, just humanity in and of itself cannot achieve goodness. I can't be good until I mix the earthly with the what? When the godly and the earthly come together, it's complete and one, and in it it's goodness. But just an earthly man can't be good alone, because I'm just a man, but a man without God is incomplete. It's not wrong, it's just not done. And so what he's saying is, I'm not finished the work when I just made man. Yes, you're a great creation. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, I've given you parts of myself, but you're incomplete. And until you connect with me, there is no goodness. Left alone, we're left with just incompleteness. He finishes all of creation, and on the end of day 6, he says that it was very good. And so he comments on all of it together, not speaking individually about us, but the whole collective was good. And what's interesting to me, and the thought that kind of goes to me, and now I might go a little philosophical here on you, but I want to think about this. My question that I've always asked since I was a young person is this: when did the devil fall? When did the devil sin? When was his throwing from heaven? Right? Did it happen before or did it happen after? Because we know that the devil is a created being, and everything was created in that first week. Correct? First there was God, then he created everything. And now many scholars believe that the angels and the heavenly hosts were created right between day 1 or 3, right in that beginning when he created the heavens, he says, the heaven and the heavenly hosts, those that are around him. In fact, it says later on that when he was making the animals and the creatures, the heavenly hosts were singing, so they had already been to be singing. You'll find this in Isaiah. I don't have time to show you, but they were singing when he's making other things. So obviously they were around before that, but they had to have been created in this first week. Well, at the end of the first week, what does he call the world? Very, very good. So if he's finished with creating and everything is good, the devil couldn't have fallen at this point, because everything is good. Everything is perfect. Everything is one and good. And my contention is that he had to have fallen after this. And I believe that his falling had something to do with us. It was connected with us. In fact, in Ezekiel, I can show you it. Let me just bring it to you. Ezekiel. Let's go there. I want to show you something because it's interesting. Ezekiel chapter 28. I have a belief, a contention. I believe something about this. And you can disagree or agree with me. But remember, you've been wrong before. So, just trust that as you think about what you disagree with when it comes to what I'm saying. Ezekiel. Are we there? Ezekiel chapter 28. This is a prophecy of the king of Tyre. Now, many people will say, well, he's talking about the king of Tyre. But there's other times where he calls him Tyre. And then he talks about the king of Tyre. So there's obviously kind of a distinction here. Who's Tyre, who's King Tyre, and who's the king of this guy, Tyre. And we have to understand that when he speaks on the king of Tyre, he's talking about the power over Tyre. And so he's speaking to the devil. And there's a couple times that you'll find this in scriptures where he's talking specifically to the devil here, not necessarily to the man. There are other times where he talks to the man, but there are obvious times where he talks right to the devil himself. And Ezekiel 28 is one of those times where he's talking to the king of Tyre, and he says some things to him, and it's, in fact, where we get a lot of the images of what the enemy looks like, of what Satan looks like, comes a lot from Ezekiel chapter 28.